It's August 2025, so we are doing our top games of July 2025. Games are coming out thick and fast. It is the convention season. I just got back from Gen Con, which I have Gen Con vlog, which I'll link below if you want to find out more. And here are our top games of July.
Yes, these are our new to us games for July. They are not all brand new. In fact, there's one in here that's quite old by modern standards. But there are some good new games in here as well. And we'll take you through our opinions on our top 5 games each.
Only our opinion. These games might come to us for a review copy, the game that we bought, or the games that are commissioned to us. But this video, completely our opinions. So what is an old game? Old game, you probably say, 5 years is an old game, or is it like 4 months is an old game? I don't know.
It's many years. Many years.
Yes. So as I say, games are now coming thick and fast. A lot of people are releasing their games around this time of the year. We play a lot of games. We play games on convention. We play games ourselves. Just coming everywhere, like raining games. It's raining games now.
Yes. Hallelujah.
exciting time of the year. So what games have you been playing? Please write down in the comments below. I want to know as well what games are your highlights of the month, or any games that you would recommend to us. Please let us know. I've got a couple of games that I want to mention as special mention because I feel like I didn't play the game enough. First one was Sanctuary, Ark Nova game. So this is based on Ark Nova, and this is a lighter version of Ark Nova. Although I don't think they like me saying that. It's a completely different game, but it has got some Ark Nova feeling. So I get to play that at Gen Con, and something that I'm going to like. So if you think Ark Nova it's a little bit heavy and you want to have the feeling of Ark Nova, that's probably something that I would recommend. I will have a separate video talking about it and my impression, so check that out in the description below. The second game I want to mention is the game Makers by Bezier Games. Demoed that at Gen Con, and that was a game about manufacturing game. So it is very meta. It has got this rondel unique mechanic in the middle. You saw it before, right? I showed you.
Yes, it has action spaces, a rondel that kind of moves around and eats up those spaces as it goes along.
Eats up, that's a great word. And then you move your worker, which is a little forklift, to do the action, which is usually gaining some sort of resources. And then you can do it, use it on your board and to complete contract, which is to create games.
Yes.
It's very fun. So just those two as a special mention this month. All right, with that, let's start with your number 5 game, Tarrant. Tarrant's number 5 games, we also prepare with a slight demonstration of what he's going to talk about.
Yes, this game is Octocube. You've probably heard us speak about this game before. It is designed by Carl Lang, a local designer, whom we know very well indeed. And this, he's been working on this one for a while. This is a magnet cube rolling game. And it's all about, it is a set collecting game fundamentally, but you are playing as the octopus cube. And as you roll, you'll roll around on a grid, and your octopus piece is going to be picking up tiles off the board by a magnet. And you can see that it's on the side that's on the outside, it's got this little tentacle that's wrapped it up, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And of course, a tentacle can only hold one thing. So they've built the magnets in a very clever way so that only one thing can pick up. This game is very quick and it's easy to teach, and it's very, very playable. You get a little grid and you roll around and you're kind of doing your own thing, but you're racing for tiles with other players. It feels very quick and simple, but it's enjoyable going out trying to find stuff. And then it's got a big reveal at the end of the game as well, because a lot of the points come from collecting big sets all at once. And then the rest of the points come from majorities in colors and icons. And so there's all these majorities that you're playing for. And you've got to keep on your toes or on your suction cups about focusing on which sets are going to get you just ahead of everyone else in enough things to score a lot of points. So yeah, it plays so quickly and it's easy to teach, but it's got this great table presence for mechanisms that click together really well. So yeah, this very good game.
I actually know about this game 2 years or 3 years ago, and I know Carl personally very well, and I was playing the early prototype version. My name is also on the rulebook. I feel like, I don't know, I feel a little bit conflicted if I put it in my top games. You know what I mean? Like, I know this is just our opinion, but this is definitely something that is very enjoyable. So I would put this at...
You're going to recuse yourself because you have a
Thank you.
working professional relationship with Carl through the Guff Studios Publishing.
Yes, it is in my anticipated games of 2025 earlier in the year, which it is, shaped up to be a really great game. My number 5 game is Dirt and Dusts. Now, this is a release from Gen Con 2025, but it is kind of like a soft release there, and they completely sold out. They didn't have a lot of stock there. It is a racing theme game with a lot of personal hustle. So we did a review for this one. I feel like in the review I should have been more outspoken, the fact that I like it. I like it. And this is a deck building with dice assignment, where that's what you need to do in the game mainly. So you need to manipulate your card, match it with the dice, and do the action. And you need to manipulate your position on the track as well. It's a slightly different feel of track. There's no fast pace. It's personal puzzle, simultaneous selection on all players. So everyone do their actions simultaneously. And the personal puzzle comes from matching the dice and the card and how you want to activate your turn and which one you're going to activate first. And the card slides to the right, so there's also that timing mechanics. It's really fun.
Yeah, it is very multiplayer solitaire, but then again, most deck builders dating all the way back to Dominion are, so you can't really fault it for that.
No.
And it's the level of interlocking that the puzzle has is quite high in this game. Yeah. So those who like this kind of crunchy solo puzzle game are going to really enjoy this, because as you say, you've got a deck you're trying to build, you're trying to put cards in dice slots that match your dice, you're trying to discard cards once you've used them, because if you've got a card up there that isn't useful, it just chokes up a slot because they don't automatically go away. And then you're trying to manage your car sliding all over the road and the risk of crashing.
Yep.
That's the other thing, is you can go quite aggressively, but it's going to break bits of your car that might hurt you at the end. And that leads to some tension. So lots of ways to play this game.
Yeah, really fun game if you like that multiplayer solitaire personal puzzle.
My number 4 is Hot Streak, and this is going to appear later on Stella's list, so I will not speak about it yet. We'll come back and have a conversation when it pops up for Stella.
Game number 4 for me is a prototype game from a publisher that I've worked before. It's called Mercurial Alchemia. So it is in the world of Mercurial. So they've got the previous release called Mercurial, and this is in the same universe, but it's much heavier game, at least in the prototype version. So this game has got worker placement, set collection, track management. What I like the most about it is the positive player interaction in the worker placement space. So if you go to a space where there's someone else, you get something, they get something. So everyone's happy. So I think that is really, really good in more complex games, more Euro game. And I see kind of like more and more people try to have that mechanics in their games, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, much like Dirt and Dust, this is a deck builder with a lot of layers of puzzle that you can play with. So you have cards that will do things as you play them, and then you also have to try to get them into your potion, because you're brewing potions, and you're trying to get specific combinations to try to maximize the score of your potions. You are rolling and upgrading dice, which you can spend on extra actions or put into your potion. So yeah, you've got all these kinds of choices.
Yeah.
But on top of that, as you say, there is positive player interaction where you can go and use other players' powers or spend extra things on other players' actions.
Yeah. There's a follow action as well, of course.
Yeah, it's got a lead and follow, so you can, if you build yourself up with the resources that let you follow, you can constantly be taking a lot of actions.
It is also gorgeous. So the deluxe version is the one that we had. Well, we don't have it anymore because we ship it to another content creator, which is great. And that means that somebody is enjoying playing that game at the moment, hopefully. And that, like, it's amazing. Like, the shells are the currency. They're really, like, very tactile. And the components, the cardboard components are great. Just, the artworks are really great. It has a table presence. And I think it has this, this is prototype, but it has the smartest way of packing up components for in a tray, I think. Or, like a different way, I would say.
True, I haven't seen it before. You build a little box where you put things, but then it has a sleeve that you put over the top.
It's the sleeve, not the, instead of like a lid or something, yeah. Check it out. We do have a video coming up soon. And they're planning on Kickstarter later this year.
My number 3 game for the month is a quick little 2-player tactical battle game, and this is Toy Battles. This is Paolo Mori and Alessandro Zucchini, and it's been compared to kind of a modern but not too complex Stratego in many ways. You're playing as cute little toys. There's a little battlefield, and really every turn you either pick up troops from your own personal deck of troops, or you play a troop on the board. Troops have values from 1 to 7 with a wild, and you can only cover an opponent's troop if it is a lower number. And then each troop has some sort of ability. Like, you gain more troops, discard other troops from the board. And you either win by getting all the way down the board and attacking your opponent's headquarters, or by surrounding areas that let you collect medals. And that's basically it. That's pretty much the how to play for the game.
We do have how to play for the game.
We do have how to play as well. This is one of those games. It's a 10 to 15 minute little 2-player battle. You can play it over and over and have different kinds of experiences based on how players are playing or what tiles you get and how you have to react to that. There's also 8 different maps that come with the game. So it's a really nice filler.
It is a nice filler. We first found out about it at PlayCon and somebody said, oh, you need to play it. It feels a bit like very light war game, chess style game, but there's not a lot of complications around what each component or what each character can do. So it's a really fun one like that for 2-player. Game number 3 for me, speaking about all-day game. What is all-day game? I mean, this is definitely not 2025 release. This was released last year.
Yes, this was a late 24 release that has finally hit the table.
Yeah, so this is Slay the Spire, the board game, based on the video game, which I have not played. But from what I know, the video game has card playing, which is like perfect for translating it to the board game version, right? This is a cooperative deck building game. It feels like dungeon crawler, but it's not, like just fighting bosses after bosses. And this is like, I always like deck building, and cooperative deck building, I feel like one type of cooperative game that you cannot control, like no one player can control the definite, like tell people what they want to do. Like no alpha player, basically, potentially, most likely. Sorry, what are you gonna say?
Yeah, it's a cute game. It has the art style from the video game. And
or is that an app game?
I think it's an app and video game. That's much the same these days.
It's different. Like video game is like has got like console games is video games, so PC games, video games, or app games is like on your phone.
Anyway, it's a nice little tactical battle where everyone's got enemies attacking them. You're looking at which ones are of most threat. You're trying to work out together which enemies you're going to attack first to try to wipe them out so that they don't hit you back. And then between battles, you're going to all these locations where you're leveling up. All the cards come in. You have to put all the cards in sleeves. So often you're upgrading cards by flipping them to their better sides. Or you're buying new cards, or you're getting super powerful cards. There's lots of ways that things are going to level up as time goes on.
Yeah, we have another video for this coming out if I get a chance to edit the video. It's been very busy. I'm sorry, everybody. And that's my favorite, by the way, part of the game is the upgrading cards bit. So you just flip it to the stronger side, and obviously there are other cards that you can gain. But like when you adventure going through the, it's like not dungeon. There's an adventure board, like a cave. Yeah, you can buy stuff, you can upgrade stuff, you can rest. It's not an easy game. It's not an easy game to defeat. It's pretty tough at times, I think. Like the boss, and yeah, the boss is also I don't know. It's like cute but scary. Cute but scary.
They can be tough, but then there's also you've got your own player powers. You've got your ability to try to combine things into these big, powerful turns that can really make an impact.
Yes. Oh yeah, I love that combo.
Yeah, and you've got to kind of work up to them, but it's very satisfying.
Let us know if you have played the video game and what do you think. How similar, and if you have played the board game as well, how similar are they, the video game and the board game? Should I invest myself in starting to playing the video game because I like the board game?
So we come to number 2, and this is a shared number 2
Yeah.
for both of us this month. This is the upcoming Euro game.
Essen release.
2025.
2025.
Yes, this is Papiria.
It's a Euro game. It is a rondel game, and it escalates like... Okay, you start with the explanation. I'll tell you what I love most about this.
Yeah, this is an interesting little game. So it's got a double rondel mechanism. You've got a rondel on the inside and a rondel on the outside. And each of them let you do similar actions. And most of the actions are geared around building up your own personal tile layout. So it's kind of tile layout in that way. And as in any tile layout kind of game, you're trying to get the right tiles, put them in good locations. There's about 7 different types of things, and they all score in different ways. So you want your rivers to match up. You want your cities to be a long way apart from each other. You want mines because that generates resources, and it doesn't matter where they're placed. All of that sort of thing. It's moderately restrictive because every time you place a tile, you move your priest to the tile you just placed, and your next tile has to go adjacent. So that gets quite restrictive, and you don't think about it at the start of the game, but as it plays out, that becomes an important factor in pre-planning. But then, as you're playing the game, there's all this positive player interaction on the rondels. So when you get both of your workers, your inner and outer worker in the same place, that lets you move your priest anywhere. So you want to kind of keep them together to give you building flexibility. But when you join up with someone else's worker, you can give them the lesser resource, which is a gem of
cheaper one,
of lapis, and you get back some knowledge, a scroll. It's like an exchange between the players. Positive for both players, but the scrolls are a big part of then gaining knowledge and points. And then as you build up that grid, you're trying to pick up scoring tiles all over the board, because each time you get a scoring tile, that is how you score.
Yeah.
That is how you
unlock
the points from your area. So you want to be getting as many of those as you can. But you can't just specialize in one area and make one type of points worth like 200, because the amount of points you can get in any one chunk is also limited by a separate track called knowledge. So you have to be doing enough actions that also generate knowledge so that you can score multiple times.
Because that's maxed out. If you have low knowledge, doesn't matter what you score, it will be crap. Sorry.
It will be limited to that knowledge, yes. It means that it incentivizes you to generalize, because if you generalize across a lot of things that score roughly equal to your knowledge, that's going to be worth more points than specializing into one area, only being able to score one type of scoring tile, but being limited by the same knowledge.
Yes. So what I love about this is, I don't know, there's a lot to love about it, right? Rondel creates quite restriction on movements and planning ahead. But what I love about it the most is that knowledge. So like you need to gain those tiles to score, and you are limited by the knowledge you have. And this is this escalates. So the later you score, the potential score you get, because potentially you've worked on your knowledge. Now you are much more knowledgeable, and you gain like score. Like the score could be like 400 and 300 marks, so it could be a lot to gain, and that's really fun. Like that's just so fun to try to work on it, or focus on certain things or one thing. So that's where the interaction as well. You look at other players and see what they focus on, because the scoring tile could be competitive. There are lots of ways to gain points, and it could be very competitive if you have to jostle for the same thing, I think.
Yep, and it is a rondel where you're not strictly limited to movement.
Yes.
Normally you move 1 or 2, or you can get upgrades that go further, but you can always pay the lesser resource, the lapis, to move further, and you've got to pick the right times to do that.
Yeah. I remember at one of the games I was hoarding the lapis, and then like the last few rounds I'm just like really gunning it to go somewhere, pick up the tiles and score a lot, but then make sure I have to worry about the knowledge, otherwise I just don't score enough.
Yeah, this is, I could see this, I hope this does well. I could see it flying under the radar, because it's not a pretty game. No one's going to tell you this is a hugely pretty game. It's quite beige. And it doesn't have that modern, I'm making these big intricate combos kind of things. It's a bit more of a simple old school kind of Euro.
And we do like simple old school Euro.
I love simple old school Euros. And this is a very good example. So I hope the message gets out to it. I hope it does well.
Yeah. Go Iron Game. It's only it's really hard to pick my first one, Tarrant. Because this is the second, and then the first one is a completely different game. You'll see. Can we officially say that this is an old game?
Yep. According to the date, this is an 128-year-old game.
It's not.
This is my number one for the month. A game I've finally gotten to the table, which is Bruxelles 1893. Now, I have played Bruxelles 1897 before, which is the card version, the smaller version, which has the core mechanism.
Yeah.
But now this was the reprinted version of 1893, including the Belle Epoque expansion.
You should have heard Tara nagging me. When are we going to play Bruxelles? When are we going to play Bruxelles? When are we going to play Bruxelles? It's like, all right. I mean, and not because I don't want to play it, because there are other games we are competing to be played.
Yeah, so what do I like about this game? I bring it back to the same things I just said about Paperia to a large extent. This is not a game that has big, intricate Euro engine build combos. This is a game that has relatively simple actions that are all heavily timing dependent. Like if I'm going to get art, the timing doesn't matter. But if I'm going to sell art, I have to do it at the time where my particular art is worth the most and where I'm allowed to sell it. If I want to build a building, but I only have specific resources, I have to do it at exactly the right time, because if someone else builds, the thing I use to build changes. So you've got these simple actions that you're using to build up points, but then as you're taking the actions, you're placing a worker in a grid. The column of that grid scores a majority. The 2x2 square around that scores a majority.
That's true.
And you have to work out how much money to put onto the grid to win that majority.
Keep losing my money for nothing. Anyway.
Yeah, so it has all these really intricate sub-decisions that go into some quite simple engine building actions. And it makes for this really tense experience. The game flexes up and down between rounds of plenty and rounds of scarcity, which makes for all these different... There's always an offset. You're always either spending too much money to achieve something, or you lose workers. And then the Belle Epoque expansion adds some nice competitive endgame objectives where you can give up a worker to go and get the best scoring objective. And it has these extra player power type upgrades. And they can give you you can race for those. They cost extra, but they can give you this extra little thing that takes it out of pure beige and pure quality. And I think they're not wholly game breaking, but they've got enough of a game break and are balanced well enough to go and race for them. So yeah, everything just clicks together really well in this game. I can see why it was so popular when it came out and why it's still
popular.
Warranted a reprint. It's a very good game.
This is a reprint. The first edition we did not play, but I think it's similar in mechanics. I don't know what are the differences from the first one or the previous version. But this is what we played. Very planning ahead needed type of game, which my brain is a little bit...
You plan ahead. It just sometimes...
I did.
It's the sort of game where you can plan ahead, but sometimes those plans all fall apart.
It's just like, reasons. Yeah. Somehow I could not plan ahead in this one, and my money always spent and gone, and then it's just like, I just don't see it again, like, you know, paying a lottery and then I didn't hear it back. Something, you know, it's just like, it just did not contribute to something. Or it did contribute to other players having to spend more money to outbid me, but that's about it. I just like could not get enough benefit.
Yeah, and this even has the ability to like forego actions and pass early to get a better passing benefit, to stay out of court or jail, and it's just that kind of decision that not every game has.
I remember the company Geek Attitude Games. They brought up a game called Essen, I think. It's about shopping and buying games at Essen.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a while back.
We've played that one back in the day.
Yeah, that was fun as well. Now it's time. Well, if you actually heard all of the games and then counted, you probably already know what's my number one. Just Hot Streak.
Yes, this is the newest
newest game from CMYK, and they've been bringing like pretty simple game but engaging, like Lacuna. I call it Lacuna Matata, no, Lacuna. And this is a racing game. Think Camel Up, think the games that let you bet on figures on the racetrack and then trying to bet on the outcome. Now, what I love about it, I'm going to go straight in. That what's different and what I like about it, not only the mascots looks really cute, but the way you can potentially influence the race. So it has got a set of cards that, let's say, mascot number one, which is a queen, hot dog, fish, and what's the fourth one?
A bear cat.
Thank you. Would go forward or go backward, go 2 steps forward, so go left and right, and so on. But then at the start of each round, you get to add cards to it. One card or 2 cards?
Yeah, you add 1 card each to a common deck.
And it gets shuffled, and then some cards got discarded, so you can influence to a certain degree which one's doing well, which one's going to do bad. So you can bet on, okay, this mascot's going to do well, that one's going to go bad, and then you know that potentially that would come up. Very fun, plays a lot of people.
Yeah, it plays a lot of people with a real table presence because the board rolls out.
Yes.
The pieces are big and chunky. Everyone can just kind of stand around and really feel like they're at a low stakes horse race.
Yes.
Because it is fundamentally, it is it's much simpler Camel Up. It's a much simpler Downforce.
Downforce, that's
You can put a very small influence into the game, but not much. Yeah, it's a half step above I'm betting on which dice are going to get rolled more frequently, which I think is Can't Stop, right?
Oh, yeah.
Does Can't Stop? I haven't actually played Can't Stop, but that's how I imagine it. You're just betting on die rolls. Yeah,
when I actually won that game, Tarrant rudely said, oh, yeah, no skills needed for that game. Snobby. No, I'm kidding. It's true. Like, not a lot of skills needed.
I say, it's a betting game with the very smallest amount of strategy. Everyone's always live because it's double points in the final round. Yeah. So it's a game that it's not going to get your brain working, but it's going to get your heart pumping, and it's going to create a fun atmosphere for a nice little filler.
We play like, I don't know how many games we play. It's short and quick and just play over and over again with different amount of players, and it's still fun. It
was a very popular game at PlayCon.
Yes.
I think it very seldom spent long on the shelf. It would always come out and there was always a little game going on around the room.
Very fun game. So what have you been doing? Let us know. Have you played Hot Streak? If you haven't, please play it, or play it. All of these games, but not all of them are available, sorry. Get
when they are.
Yeah, Octocube, Toy Battle, Slay the Spire, that's it. No, Brussels, Dead and Dust. Hopefully you find that little gem from this video, and see you next time. Bye.